What's this guy in the jorts and cowboy boots? We don't want that. I don't know where any of that money's at. He was like, I'm not fucking pumping this.
What's going on?
Damn, son, I know you ain't still in the bed.
I'm trying to get going, man.
Damn, man, you must make enough in 4 or 5 hours of the day that you can just sleep in like that, man.
Hey, son, I work till 7, 8 o'clock every night.
Do you?
Yeah.
How do you
usually do?
How do you get to haul that late, man? Oh, I need one more load of dirt out there.
I thought you was wanting waste first.
Waste, yeah, you're right.
I gotta go to waste trip, son.
Good grief, that's a haul, dude. Let him go ahead and haul the waste, and I'll do something on the dirt.
I did got some when I get back.
Okay.
I'll try to hustle and get over there and back.
You better get to it, son. That's 5 hours there and back, probably. We've been working up there the last couple of weeks. I got a big job going on up there, and there's several spots there that are doing construction, or, storm cleanup and construction, so it's going to slow you down a little bit. Be careful. Holler at me when you get back. Shoot it with the laser once they're done with this. Hey, if anything, this is high, so we can just bring this down and use that gravel. The shittier your block mason is, the better it needs to be. But we gotta get block mason. The trench box towards the coast where it's really sandy soils and it'll slide in. It's more applicable there. And like, if this was like super wet and like as they were starting to dig, it was falling in, then you gotta worry about it. But you see how hard this dirt is, like the fucking machine went and dig it, so it's not gonna get, you can drive that skid steer right on top of this and it's not gonna push it.
Is that good up there? He can add a bunch of water and start running it then.
Back it in over there and run it down.
Maybe a couple more down here. Get this filled in. Try to fill that box halfway up with this hard shit.
Right, yeah, go ahead and put that one there so that hardens up, so as we pour this, it's not trying to push. Another water that's up in there. Needs a little height. Probably ought to.
That to the bottom of that is great.
Oh, okay.
That's what I did the whole grade off of, was the bottom of that box.
Don't want it to be super wet running into there because that water will push.
It could push a little more dirt.
On that back. Yeah, that's good. It's alright, this corner ain't gonna blow out. Corner of the garage. Corner of the floor might, but the corner of the garage isn't.
Hey, wait, man.
You push dirt in the back. You push dirt in the back.
Right here?
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's
the bottom.
this corner.
Bottom's pushing out. Let's just wet it and start pumping from up here. Let that dry. All right.
How do you say get that big ratchet strap off the compactor?
¿Cómo se dice?
De lazo, ahí. La chiquita máquina. Es no lazo, es otro, pero es para este atrás. Está ahí en la máquina.
Ahí está la trampa.
Bring the skids here.
Hold against it.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'll let him dump that first one in here. And then he can hold against it and we'll shoot it. Keep your bucket real low. The dozer would be better on this side. Can he get to the back of it with the skid steer? We turn the out. Yeah, because they can, like, you can see they're all bowed. Yeah. So if you turn them like that, you basically build a frame and then plywood the face of it, and then you go around the whole perimeter of that with the flat 2x4 to just hold the forms together, you know. And then on the back side there's wedges that drive in. So you do that and all the 2x you can look at, you know, and put the fucking machine against it. Because those you gotta work super wet, and when it's that wet, it's that much heavier.
Yeah.
You know? And you vibrate it. That vibration
Pushes it out even farther. I never built one this big.
Yeah, don't worry. I've definitely built a bunch like this, and I thought, hell yeah, this is good. And then, like the first couple that I did, the pump guy, he was like, I'm not fucking pumping this. And I was like, well, I'll pump it. I might walk this slope in and push that down some, because once the house is up, that's gonna look a little funny over there.
Yeah.
It really should like blend down to this lower level, it being the entertainment. Yeah. And that won't take a second to do anyway. This thing is completely out of fuel. That's why I shut it off.
Fuel up in the morning, not at night.
You mean at night, not the morning, because it's not fucking full right now.
Well, I didn't feel it this morning.
Well, you got 12 fucking guys here. They needed that. We needed, I guess we have to bitch back at them to immediately get their job and start greasing, washing windows and fueling up.
Usually they're good. Like, first thing they do is fueling grease, but I was already here. I just came straight here.
Cut that well pipe about 2 feet above grade too. Is there a sawzall in your truck?
Or they have it, actually.
¿Puedo decirlo? ¿No? Güey,
te corto tus nachas. We for sure need plastic on that corner. Just 6 months. Because if it's gonna rain all week this week. But we do need to shoot that first and get that 6 feet perfect before we do put it on there. And then you're gonna have to get the fabric from Cherokee. Do we have more plastic at the shop?
Not enough.
We only need it on that corner.
Like a quarter of that blue roll. I don't know if that's enough.
Probably. Fabric don't really matter until we're backfilling.
Yeah, I just don't want those footers to get covered in shit.
Yeah.
Maybe we could let the laborers build a berm right there on the edge
Here?
so that any water that does land up top, it's all gonna run this way, but still.
I'm gonna just push that and work that slope in. We need to get material to that framing too in town.
Oh yeah.
So if we're going to Lowe's, might as well make one trip.
You need me to do anything, dog?
No, not yet. Let me do Daddy put the slickum on this thing real quick.
Alright, holler at me if you need to get on the skid steer or something.
Pull the screw up.
No, wait.
See?
This one.
See? I put it in there.
At some point we need to go to the shop and get those orange caps put on the tops of those. You want to just back blade everything, and then haul the equipment to the shop. Let's make sure that silt fence is good all the way through there. Have them do those two things. Down there on the lower part, we just need to do that side.
So we're on the plastic all the way down.
Yeah, and then up here, you can see on the it's over here. That rebar needs to stop from center of this line over 4 feet is that superior wall. So don't put rebar in that. A lot of folks that are in a seat, you know, or with a paintbrush in their hand, or a plumber or whatever, you know, we all get really good at what we do, but we don't know anything about our numbers a lot of times in the beginning. We know what we should charge for a job, but we don't really know if we're profitable or not at the end of the day. And you know, the first several years I just kind of relied on hustle, which for myself was fine, but you know, because I was young, I didn't have a family that, you know, relied on me to be home in the evenings and stuff, and we just worked our tails off and just kept bringing money in. And so anyway, you know, you don't know if you're profitable or not. That's the biggest thing that we were struggling with, is we knew what money was coming in and we knew what money was going out, but we didn't know what we got to keep in our pocket. And you know, at the end of the year, we see a big crazy number and we're proud of that, but then once we go see our CPA, we're like, I don't know where any of that money's at, you know. And so it's just a big question mark if you're not tracking all your stuff and you don't understand your numbers. You don't really know what your trajectory needs to look like or should look like or is looking at what it is right then, you know.
Inside 6 foot. That's the trash truck. 6 foot.
We need that covered too. You got more? Just cut it off that end then.
And rehang it from right here down.
Yeah. See that shit that fell in there?
Yeah.
We don't want that on that.
Hang it from off that well house thing.
Where, how do you carry this though? Like,
My truck all the time.
all right, so we keep getting questions about if in Jobber you can upload blueprints. And so I want to show you here in Jobber when we're in the field, instead of going back through and looking through emails, because we always forget to bring the paper with us out here, or it gets rained on or whatever. But instead of searching back through emails on the jobs, we just have the office upload all the files into Jobber. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom at the job, you can see the foundation plan here. And so there's a small detail here where the end of this wall, there's a little 6 foot knee wall that the 4 foot superior wall will set on. So one end of the superior wall will set where Vince is at, the other end will set on a little 6 foot tall knee wall, and then it'll continue through here. So we want to show that detail here, verify that it's 6 foot, and then we're going to verify here that 6 foot is actually what the height is. So Ethan, verify that.
6 foot on the money.
What if you turn the grade stick over, because it's bowed down this way? No, it just bows that way.
Yeah, now we're at 68 inches. What? Back to 6.
All right, so it's 6 foot. So anyway, in Jobber, you can upload all your different files on here. So this is a total site prep job. So we've got the septic permit, the house plans, the foundation plan, since it's superior wall. We need to compare those two with everything that we're doing. If there was a total site plan, we would have that uploaded in here, which would show every element of the project. We probably need pea gravel to like right here. We'll let them set that wall and then we'll lay block.
Can't we just lay another block instead of putting another foot of pea gravel?
Yeah, if the block mason starts before the, but you're gonna have them come lay 2 block right there and then set superior wall, then lay all the block. Or we could have did another step, you know?
Yeah.
Could have did another step right here and come up right there, but like the first block has to sit on this. It can't sit on gravel. The only reason we want to put a little gravel in here is for that wall to sit on. That's all it is right there. I mean, if you could scratch up a little bit here, but you can't.
Enough up here on that bank yet.
It could be the 3/4 also.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
Because it's only 8 inches, you know?
Yeah. The wheelbarrow.
Why are you so tired, man?
I was shoveling. It's fucking hot. You wanna go get a wheelbarrow? Yeah, that's fine. I'll be right back, fellas. We need to PVC that.
Not yet, but we will. I'll just take the rest of the day and make sure all that's kind of. Cut this one little dead stub right here.
Can you remember, is this walking out here?
Pull it up and jobber. That would come to this corner. There's a little short. So we might need to actually fatten this up just a little bit as well. A little too long.
Yeah, but it's better just leave it. It'll all fall if you start digging it.
Maybe you should get a little bit of pea gravel to bring this in some. Bring that in just a little bit. Do that up there. Because this'll, wherever that sets, it sets, and then it'll pour concrete after that, you know?
Can we use 3/4 down here?
Yeah, pea gravel. Yeah.
Because if I just tell them to bring the truck that already has 3/4.
Oh, yeah, you got that still there. I just bring the whole thing out here then. Use what you need and leave the rest of it piled up there because we'll end up using it for the backfill of the garage.
Call Steven.
We got to backfill that garage and we're going to do a boulder wall.
Oh, we are going to do it?
Yeah, he approved it. And so it'll need a backfill.
Can you bring me that 3/4 out here? In Wesley's truck. Alright, so fabric ain't cheap.
Nope, and it ain't going to do nothing because it should backfill that with 3/4 gravel so the fabric is separating the dirt from the gravel.
Yeah.
And
he's going to put dirt in there.
You can put fucking dirt in there. So there's no point in putting the fabric other than just having it there for the next couple days of rain. No mud will wash into the new gravel, you know? Alright, I'm going to get my hair cut. Hold it down out here in the heat.
Yeah.
So delegate. It's only 74.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
that's lying. I just looked. It's 80.
Wait till we get in balls deep in summer, son.
You see Steven's outfit?
I got a comment of what's this guy in the jorts and cowboy boots? Isn't that what Wesley's wearing as well?
Wesley's ain't at that. Wesley has cargo shorts on. Steven has actual hand-cut jean shorts.
Is there gonna be water that comes off this road, you think, down here?
This way? Not much. You mean from the railroad?
Yeah. No. Because if it does make it through there, it's gonna dump on the septic.
So you need a pipe?
He don't want to do it right now, but
Eventually.
need to get the crane in and out and then have to put one in.
Redo this ditch? Or this part of it?
Yeah, I'll probably have to redo it to the power right there, but
Should we just leave that out for now? Or?
yeah. And I wouldn't do any of this until final grade. He needs to get some kind of erosion control down pretty quick, I'd say. I mean, really, everything's pretty well final graded. All this, the lower,
Yeah.
get all that in. Some of it will get fucked up when they do the backfill for the. But if they stay there, you could at least do all this slope and the low slope. When you get done here, call me because we need to build him together for the footing and for the crane pad. Call Ethan and ask him to grab a couple cones for this.
Those stumps you brought out, are they just supposed to float around the pond?
No, they gotta get saturated and they'll sink. They're just light right now.
I think I'm ready to go ahead and do some fishing there. Like I told you before, I mean, I really, at this point, don't have nothing left to lose. So say, can you get fish out here?
Let me make a phone call, but I'd assume by the end of the week.
I don't know anything about fishing a pond. All I know about fishing a pond is catching fish in a pond.
Same, man. I'll get you all the information, though, from wildlife here. And I'll call you back as soon as I got an answer for you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. This I just sold. So this is the additional work on a job we've already started. So this is going to be a little bit unique. We already have a job. Now there's more work coming into that job. I'll sell the job. Then it's going to convert to Vince. Vince will see that it's now a job. He goes out and performs the job, bills for the job, and during that time the guys are filling those trackers out and you're entering it into the job. He'll let you know the job's done and that he's billed for it. And then, in like 48 hours, if for some reason they haven't paid, you can follow up with them. Let's just say this wasn't adding on. I would have just converted the quote to a job. Vince is out doing the job. He's ready to bill for it. So generate invoice. Already been paid for. We don't want to invoice for this part. We don't want to invoice for that. We don't want to invoice for that. If I know a customer wants to pay partial, I'll turn that on. And then if it's a big payment, I'll turn an ACH on. If it's like 50 grand plus, I'll turn ACH on. because an ACH, it'll run as a 1% fee. The cards are 2.75, so it saves us a percent if we do take it as ACH. However, there's like a 2-week lag time typically to receive that money. We're gonna save and send as email to him. All right, so done. We just wait for him to pay now.